Welcome back. In this third in our 3-video series on virtual facilitation, I want to talk about best practices for kicking off your workshop with real impact. And in doing so, creating a persona for yourself of poise and composure. You may remember in our first video we talked about session design. In our second video we talked about participant communication. So now let's talk about the kickoff itself. So the first thing I would suggest is log on early. I would say at least an hour before the session starts. And log on not only with your presenter machine, but have a second machine where you can log on as a participant. Those views are going to be very different, and throughout you're going to want to see both. And this also will give you an option of switching control from one machine to the other if your presenting machine locks up or freezes. This has happened to me on more than one occasion, and knowing that I can easily switch over has really calmed my nerves. By the way, to do that, you'll need to make sure that any files that you are planning to access from your presenter machine are also on your participant machine. So if you haven't done so already, create a mirror image of all those files. Once you've done that, shut down any applications that may consume bandwidth. Instant messages, Facebook, email, etc. There are two reasons for this. The first is these applications are notorious for creating latency in your video feed, which is really distracting to you and your participants. The other is it'll eliminate the risk that some annoying or maybe even embarrassing instant message or Facebook post or email post will pop up on the screen when you least expect it. Once you've done that, set an on-screen timer for a countdown for when the session will actually start. This will really be helpful for participants that are logging in ahead of time to see in a real way how close we are to the start. And by the way, on that same screen, it can be very helpful to give your contact information or the contact information for your tech wingman in case they are having troubles accessing things. As people log on, hopefully well in advance of the session, introduce them, introduce yourself, and do a quick tech check to make sure that they can see and hear everything that is needed. And then, when that countdown clock hits 0, kick it off with the same kind of impact you would in a face-to-face session, knowing that you've done everything you need to do to create an environment that is impactful and resonant with your participants. Now, in summary, virtual facilitation is hard. You've got all of the best practices that apply in a face-to-face session, plus all of the considerations that we've talked about in the last 3 videos. But let's face it, as facilitators, we can ignore this, we can bungle through, or we can try to embrace it and create an environment that works for the participants and for us. I hope you found this series helpful. Thank you.